Disclaimer. Hi. This video is gonna make a lot of people rage quit. Whenever I talk about the current state of things in the world, people who particularly are against certain medical preventative measures get very mad at me. People who fall upon a certain party line get mad at me. So yeah, if you're one of the people who are mad about me getting preachy about my left-leaning views, this is not the video for you. You're about to get real upset. So you might wanna, bye-bye. If you are someone who easily gets extremely angered by misinformation and, you know, preying on people just to make a buck, this video is going to make you real mad. So also, yeah, I'm not a medical professional. Don't take anything that I say as medical advice, but also please get your vaccines. Seriously, please get your vaccines and your boosters. I'm saying this straight up front, and don't listen to anything that any of these people say. Well, I mean, some of it might have some merit. You'll see when we get going, but for the most part, please talk to your doctor. My baby's upset. Okay, here's the video. Hi. Welcome back to Mom Life. You know how it goes. And Pop-Tarts here. Yes, she is. So I don't know how today's gonna go, to be quite honest. I've been told that this video that we're reviewing today, I may need a drink or three. It is 9:30 in the morning. I have to go get my daughter from school later. It is not the time for that. We're gonna see how this goes, but basically, what we have going on here, I'll start out by saying that I don't think that this Zoom call was put on by doTERRA itself, although I could be wrong. I want to say it was like a team, and then they just like had medical professionals show up and start talking about ways you can use doTERRA for the current climate, and we're gonna see real quick what they mean by this. Before I do that, I have to pull up this comment thread because it's so freaking funny. Hi, so the part that I was trying to talk about in this video just now, I could not find the comment thread because the guy fucking blocked me. And then I guess Mombi deleted the post anyway, so I don't know what was going on there, but I do have screenshots from when it did happen because it was funny. So here's the original post that Mombi made. It was literally just a slideshow of all the slides we're gonna watch today. And she said, last night there was a doTERRA Zoom about using their products to prevent and cure C. We all know what C is. Listening to it was horrendous, and that's an understatement. She's right about that also. These are screenshots of the PDF that accompanied the Zoom. The Zoom call was also put on by medical professionals shown in the second image. Check my bio for info on how to report, and please do report because these false health claims are incredibly dangerous. And guess who responded? One of the people responsible somehow. I'm not exactly sure how these people are related to the situation because this chat was in a group chat from a few weeks ago, and there are like hundreds of messages that in that group chat per day. I mean, I could take the time to scroll through it and see if there's an answer to that question, but I simply just cannot be asked to do so. But just know that this guy is someone who's involved. So he said, the amount of good these medical professionals have done for their communities and customers and friends will far surpass your mission to bash MLMs, #truth, for not redacting names and publishing a password protected copyright. He spelled copyright stupidly wrong. Presentation. My legal counsel will be reaching out for defamation. Contact me directly for any questions. Thank you. Don't worry though, because the community responded. Ashley Lindley said, not only is this publicly available on social media, but if lawyers are reaching out, why would anyone need to contact you directly? False health claims are false health claims. They should be reported to the proper authorities. And then Kat Benson said, defamation is the communication of a false statement. Are you implying these weren't shared, private or not, which it was publicly available? Illegal health claims are still legal. FTC gets to decide now. And then I think this is why he blocked me. Because I posted a comment and I said, ha ha ha, sir. Sit down. You're a giant pathetic man, baby. Your empty threats don't scare anyone here, and no reputable lawyer would take on a defamation. I spelled defamation wrong, but that was an accident. I know how to spell defamation. Anyway, no reputable lawyer would take on a defamation case over this. LMAO. Wow. So very, very sad. And then I posted a diaper changing emoji. He did respond to me and say something along the lines of like, you're bullying me. Bitch, you're the one who's threatening people with legal action. What an idiot, honestly. Not only that, but Mombi went and posted a lot of this stuff on her stories as well, and someone else who's involved in this was all up in her DMs, and he said, the FDA and FTC are well aware of this. You're clueless, lady. Well aware of what? What we're about to watch is straight up false. It's absolutely not true. I think what he's trying to be like is, oh yeah, they know the claims we're making are true. And it's like, no, but they're not. They're like, definitely not. And then he said, it sounds like you failed at an MLM and are looking for someone to take it out on. I feel sorry for you. Hey guys, this is a grown ass man sliding into a woman's DMs, trying to bully her, trying to fearmonger, trying to make her feel lesser than, trying to make her feel stupid. It's like, sir, hey sir, it just boggles my mind that these people can look at an Instagram account like MLM Mombi, sweet, beautiful Kira, who has done so much work for this community, to take any singular look at her Instagram profile and be like, you clearly don't know what you're talking about, because she has done more research in all of this shit than any of these people combined. Okay, so this guy, whatever, slid into her DMs, and then his fucking wife also slid into his DMs. It just said, nobody said doTERRA oils cure COVID. Well, you guys will hear exactly what was actually said. It is awful. Just awful. So I wanted to share all these with you just to see that these are the kind of people we're dealing with. They are literally what I said. They're big, giant man babies, or, you know, grown adults who are acting like toddlers, throwing a fit, throwing a tantrum because they're getting called out for spreading misinformation, for lying to people, for manipulating people, for preying on people's vulnerabilities, for preying on people who, for one reason or another, don't want to get a coronavirus vaccine and would rather spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on essential oils to fix their problems. That's what they're doing. And then they're mad that they're getting called out and threatening legal action. Anyway, yeah, they can't do shit. Nothing illegal was done here, because actually, while yes, the Zoom call was password protected, they had posted the Zoom call link and password publicly all over the place, all over their public social media. This was not a secret. They were trying to get people to join. And you'll see here that the audience filled up in the Zoom call. 500 people, and they said next time they're gonna do 1,000. So, okay, yeah, it was private. My butt, it was private, sir. Anyway, okay, let's get back to it. I cannot wait for you guys to actually watch this with me, because holy shit, it's so bad, you guys. But yeah, this is who we're dealing with. Okay, go follow Mombi on Instagram too. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Tiny Dick Energy Man is on here somewhere. I'm not sure who he is, but I'm assuming he's the leader of the team that put this on. Anyway, and also, of course, no matter what I say here, take everything that I say as a grain of salt, but don't take it as medical advice. But also, this might be a lot of me just like listening in shock. I might not be able to speak on a lot of these things. I haven't watched any of this. I've just been told it's a wild ride. So sit back, relax, grab a snack. Let's go.
Sides of the line of what maybe somebody would want to hear about vaccines or things like that. And so we decided that tonight, that's not what we're discussing. Tonight, what we're discussing is solutions that you can have in your home, protocols that have been found to be completely effective and amazing by practitioners who are actually working with patients who are struggling right now, and that they have been very successful with. And so tonight, no matter where you stand on certain matters, the divisiveness is not welcome. Tonight is just about solutions. It's about coming together and talking about things that we know work.
Spoiler alert, she's talking about COVID. She's talking about vaccines. The divisiveness is not welcome. Let me put it this way. You're an essential oil company, right? And while I understand that, like, you gotta sell your products right, and that there are proven medical uses for some essential oils, nowhere ever has it been proven that these essential oils can cure or prevent COVID. So I just want to put that out there before they get going here. I would say, yeah, there's probably a lot of divisiveness within doTERRA about vaccines, because these people literally believe, these people literally believe that, you know, you don't need the vaccine. All you have to do is spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on essential oils instead of getting a free vaccine. What do you fucking know? That all being said, yeah, this is very much a sales pitch for anti-vaxxers. And I don't even know what is about to be said. I just already know that. Okay.
Things that you can do right now. And so tonight the layout is...
Hold on. Things that you can do right now, meaning things that you can do now to protect yourself, meaning things that you can do right now to protect yourself from catching coronavirus. I mean, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but come on. Yeah, you can dance around it all you want, but that's literally what she's saying anyway.
We're going to discuss a little bit about prevention. We're going to talk a little bit about treatment. We're going to talk about post-COVID issues.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I know this is really long, and I said I didn't think that I would have a lot to say. She's literally saying, use our essential oils to prevent and treat COVID. Did she not just say that? If not, at least insinuate it. I really should have waited till later tonight to do this so I could have a drink, because I swear I'm about to lose my mind and we are 47 seconds into this.
And we're going to talk about recovery for those of you or people that you may love or know that may have struggled from vaccine reactions. And so we hope that you will join us, and keeping the conversation in the chat box super positive. Take with you what you feel aligns with what your goals are for your health. And if there's anything that you disagree with, just let it go in one ear and out the other.
That's not what we're here for. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. When I don't agree with things, it goes in one ear and comes out my mouth. So anyway, yeah, these people are really pissed that this shit has been shared. And they're gonna be really mad about this video. I can't wait to hear from their lawyers. Oh, telling me that this is copyright infringement. Oh, it's not. Look up fair use.
So tonight we have 3 amazing, wonderful presenters that will be sharing with you. Real quick, well, the goal again is to make you feel empowered, is to not feel like we're hopeless, that there's nothing I can do about it, just is what it is. We have to run around scared all the time.
No, you know what? Hey. Every time I make anything about COVID or vaccines and stuff, people do get mad. I probably already put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, but I'll reiterate it now. If you try to put your anti-vax bullshit in my comment section, I will delete your comment, because if someone is in my comments reading through and maybe they're on the fence about whether or not to get vaccinated or get their second dose or get boosted, and your dumb ass motherfucking misinformed comment about anti-vax bullshit, sorry, mom life. If that is the comment they read that makes them decide not to get it, I don't want that responsibility, because I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Get your fucking vaccines, get your boosters. Facebook journalists and shit are trying to report that more people have died from the vaccine than from COVID, which is blatantly, absolutely false. So fucking stupid. And I do admit, okay, I know that people can have vaccine reactions. There are some people who cannot have the vaccine. I'm not talking about you guys, but realistically, if you are more worried about having one day of a headache and some muscle aches over having 6 weeks spent on a ventilator in the hospital and ultimately fucking dying, then I can't help you, okay? But anyway, yeah, don't come at me with that shit. I am a progressive socialist, and I use my platform to push the narratives that I believe in. Mostly, 99% of the time, anti-MLM. That's why we're here. Hello. But when an opportunity like this presents itself for me to use my platform to get more people a life-saving free vaccination, not even to protect themselves. I mean, yeah, to protect themselves, but not only that, but to protect other people, because research shows that, yeah, you can still get COVID if you have your vaccine, but transmission rates are down within vaccinated people. You getting the vaccine does affect more than just you. It positively affects other people. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And there's people being like, oh, Omicron is mild. People are still dying, dude. As a matter of fact, the ICUs, nurses, medical staff are so over capacity. Like, they are overworked more than they've ever been during the pandemic because of Omicron. So I don't want to fucking hear it. You not getting your vaccine is disrespectful to medical staff who are working 80-hour weeks and shit right now around the clock. It's disrespectful to the people who need to go to the hospital for other reasons besides coronavirus and are being denied because there's no bed space because everyone in the fucking hospital has COVID and they're taking up all the beds. This isn't a fucking joke, people. But meanwhile, we have people here in doTERRA saying you need to get all of these products right now because it will prevent you from getting coronavirus, and if you still get coronavirus, it'll help you treat it. Which you can't say that because it's not scientifically proven. Nowhere. Fucking nowhere. I think there are some essential oils, I don't remember which one it is, I want to say like oregano or something, that in vitro has been shown to kill viruses, but this is in much higher quantities slash doses slash whatever you want to call it than what the human body would be consuming. Yeah, you would have to consume a shitload, an unhealthy amount of these essential oils. I mean, any consumption of essential essential oils is probably unhealthy, but regardless, yeah, in vitro studies, yeah, sure, they show some promise in maybe continuing research in that area, but just because something is proven in vitro does not mean that it's proven in humans, because it's not. They're two totally different things. Same with like rat studies. Just because something happens to a rat doesn't mean it's gonna happen to a human. So unless the studies are done on humans, which they won't be because it's way too risky, all this is encompassing is there's a free vaccine for you. You don't have to buy all these COVID vitamins and essential oils and ivermectin. You don't have to drink your own piss either. That's a new thing if you haven't heard. No, all you have to do is go get a free vaccine. That's all you have to do. And you're protecting other people around you and will get out of this bullshit faster if you just pull your heads out of your asses. Sorry, I know some of you guys don't like me getting all preachy, but this is my platform and this is what I believe in, and if you don't believe in it, then feel free to fucking click off. I don't give a shit. Go be anti-vax somewhere else. You're killing people.
This is a collection. I think we had almost 20 different practitioners who shared different protocols and things that they found to be extremely effective. And so we collected all that information, and the presenters tonight put everything together in a format for each of you. We also want you to know that everything that we're sharing tonight, we have a PDF for you. So I will throw that up in the chat box. I'll try to throw up a couple times because we have such a large group on. I'm sure that the chat box will get busy. So I'll try to keep popping it up in there for you so you guys can get a hold of that PDF. It's not branded for anything. It's just the exact PowerPoint that you're going to see tonight. If you see anything in here that you've never heard of before, please follow up with the person who invited you to tune in tonight. They will get a hold of the tools for you and help support you in that way. And real quick, this is not constitute as medical advice, although we have doctors speaking and sharing their brilliance tonight. They're not meeting with you one-on-one. They don't know what's going on in all your health history. So this is really intended for education purposes. So I'm going to let each of these amazing practitioners introduce themselves and share with you a bit about what their background is. So Dr. Wong, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Tina Wong. I live in Los Angeles. I'm a board certified pediatrician, and I have 7 children of my own. When I came across doTERRA, it was after I had my twins, who are number 6 and 7, and I had a lot of body pain because I was double nursing and carrying them all the time, and I was diagnosed with carpal tunnels, and the doctor told me that I could basically keep taking Motrin or have surgery, and I just said, I'm going to look for a natural solution, and that's when I came across doTERRA and Deep Blue Rub and LLV. And that really changed my life. And then I started to realize that these oils could be used for so many other things. And that's when I started my second education. And it was really in natural therapies. So I'm so thankful for doTERRA. I'm so thankful for the support that we get from all the people within doTERRA. And I love this company. I love my journey, and that's me.
Okay, I just have to say, I do not understand how someone can go through medical school, being so educated on the scientific method. They can probably read studies better than any of us could. They understand medical terms, they went to school for evidence-based medicine. How can you then turn around and be like, now I believe in essential oils? It's like, didn't you spend years of your life learning about things that are scientifically proven, that are evidence-based, and now you're just like in an MLM selling fucking essential oils? How does that happen? I just don't understand. And I think they would argue, well, it's because evidence is there. And it's like, no, I mean, that anecdotal evidence, like, and that's what this sounds like. This sounds like she's like, my life was changed because I didn't want to get surgery and I found comfort in these essential oils. And it's like, okay, that's great. Good for you. My baby pooped, so I have to go change his diaper. Okay, sorry. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. But it just makes me sad to think that there are medical professionals out there. It just tells me that they decided to join this business because of what they personally experienced, so their anecdotal evidence, and being able to put doctor in front of your name adds a lot of credibility to you, meaning you're probably going to make a lot of sales, meaning you're probably going to get a lot of people to sign up on your team, meaning you're going to make a lot of money off of this. I want to always believe that doctors always have the best interests at heart for people, and this kind of thing just like takes that faith out of me, She's coming off as a respectable person, like a nice person, but what happened here? What failed you.
Eliza, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks so much, Lauren. And thank you, Dr. Wong. I just can't sing your praises and Dr. Ma's enough as we work together to kind of compile all this data. You guys are really amazing. So my name is Eliza Bacote. I am an acute care nurse practitioner. I have 17 years experience in critical care, and really started on a health and wellness journey about 10 years ago and was introduced to doTERRA about 6 years ago. And really it was the answer to all of my questions about plant-based healthcare and how I could take care of my family and myself in a more natural way. And I was a skeptic, as so many have been in healthcare. And so did a lot of experimentation on my family and really just came to see the value and the beauty of plant-based medicine and how it works so synergistically with our body.
I did a lot of experimentation on my family. Yeah, that makes it sound... Yeah, me too. Yeah, that just makes it sound really respectable, what you're doing there. Putting your family at risk with the essential oils, something that is not scientifically proven to do whatever it is. And an NP, a nurse practitioner, obviously, like, that's not a doctor. So it makes me wonder, I mean, there are a lot of wild ass motherfucking nurses out there. It always shocks me that there are anti-vax nurses, and that makes no sense to me either, but they exist, and clearly here we go. We have one here. So I don't know. I don't even know what she's doing here.
The last 5 years, I've been in a wellness-based practice. I am a certified wellness practitioner. And this has been a really, really challenging time, we know, for so many of you. And the overriding theme for those of us in the medical field and those of us that also support a lot of you in natural health care is that we want you to feel empowered and supported. Every practitioner that got on here has said that. We know that you need that support and guidance, and that it's been hard to sometimes find the right information or information that fits your needs. And so we're really excited to bring that to you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Ma. I actually went to college and medical school and did part of residency all with Dr. Tina Wong. So we go back 30 years, and I've been a family medicine physician for 20 years. And I practice, when I started my practice, allopathic medicine all the way, kind of heard something about some natural medicine, didn't know nothing of it. My daughter, after 2 years into my practice, she was like sicker than sick, antibiotics, diarrhea, steroids, and it was just a vicious cycle. She was just getting sicker and sicker. I had to give her breathing treatments. It was like she was sick all the time. And with a practitioner in Mexico, actually, he was able to really take care of a lot of her symptoms naturally. And so from then on, so that's about at least 16 years, actually. 16 years I've been studying natural methods, integrating it into my practice. All my continuing education has been in herbal medicine and supplements and whatever it takes, functional medicine, just to get your body back to homeostasis, working well, working properly. And so that has totally changed my life. I've been using doTERRA for the past 8 years and really partnering up with Tina in educating all of our people, our community, and even beyond our community. And then fast forward to the beginning of the pandemic, when we were starting to find that there was really no known therapeutics. So all my patients were being sent home from the ER, just nothing to do, Tylenol, and then just wait till you're hypoxic and go back to the hospital. So that was pretty devastating. And I knew there was something to do. There was so much more that you could do. And so just to get that word out, we went like on super drive on educating people. And so we've been doing this probably for the past 2 years, just educating our community. And so now we're kind of broadening our spectrum. And then I also created a product out of it, just trying to get something a little more simplified that had a lot of the nutrients that I knew were part of that were very effective individually, but so much more together. And so we'll be presenting some of that later as well.
Okay. Let me just say that I obviously understand, and I guess I wouldn't even necessarily say it's bad to like supplement your health with naturopathic remedies and stuff. Like, fine, do that if that's what you want to do. But the problem here is what ends up happening is that these people always end up discrediting actual science and actual medicine and refusing to get actual medical help when they need it. And having doctors and nurse practitioners on here saying like, yeah, all my COVID patients just kept going to and from the hospital. I knew there was more that we could do for them. I wonder why they ended up in the hospital in the first place. Like, did you tell them that they shouldn't get the vaccine because it's not natural? Like, what happened here? Because if you had told your patients, all of your patients, they need to get the vaccine, you know, as long as their health checks out and they're able to do that, which most people are, then why are you having this big issue of all these people having all these crazy COVID issues? I mean, it sounds like they took your advice and didn't get a vaccine, a life-saving vaccine. I feel like there's definitely something more here, and it's already fucking infuriating me.
Thank you. Now we're going to go into our first topic, which is COVID.
COVID prevention basics. Here we have, how much money is this? So like $215 basic. And I don't know how much percentage off the top of my head that doTERRA distributors make. But I mean, a $200 sale, like if it's, for example, 25%, I mean, that's gonna bring them $50 every time they convince someone to buy all this, you know? It just makes me feel like they're doing all of this for money. And maybe they are blinded by their anecdotal evidence. I would understand that from just a regular person, right? Not from a fucking doctor who should know the difference between anecdotal evidence and like actual science-based medicine evidence. Sleep, healthy eating, and mask up. Oh, okay, so we are doing the mask thing here. Okay, that's funny because I thought that masks didn't work. They definitely help, okay? So at least these doctors are sitting here admitting that, yeah, if you mask up, it'll help.
COVID prevention basics, and it really encompasses nutrition. That is the foundation of your health. And LLV from doTERRA is amazing. It provides 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. It's totally antioxidant. It is comprehensive and bioavailable, meaning that your body absorbs it well.
Why do you have to do all this though? Just eat some fucking fruits and vegetables. Is it really that hard?
And so those 3 bottles are foundational. And then on top of that, we recommend the PB Assist for gut health, and then the Terrazyme also for gut health, because gut is so important. Much of your immune system is located in your gut. And on top of that, On Guard, of course, in fact, everybody, please find your favorite immune oil that you have around and use it. Use it frequently. Use it all 3 ways. So my favorites are On Guard and oregano, actually. And I will put a drop of each into a little shot glass of water if I have any sore throat, and I will gargle and I will swallow, and that takes care of so much of the beginning of a sore throat.
Does anyone else feel like the idea of gargling with something and then swallowing it is like really gross? I feel like just like I almost want to gag just thinking about doing that. Anyway, yeah, the oregano, that's what I was talking about earlier. So yep, there we go. Yeah, gargling with oregano oil, that shows evidence in vitro being able to kill viruses. This doctor is sitting here recommending it. I just don't get it. I honestly, I do not get it.
And what's great about this Healthy Habits Kit is On Guard is in there. Oregano isn't. You can add it. But in addition to that, you have frankincense, which is highly anti-inflammatory and so good for your immune system. And the other thing that I love is the On Guard chewables, because that has extra vitamin C and D on top of what you would get through the LLV, and it has zinc and beta-glucan as well. Of course, hand washing is really important, not touching the face very much, because the virus does replicate in the nose. Oftentimes we will, swipe our noses, and that's not a good thing. Also using the hand sanitizer frequently. And what I love about this is it's not drying and it smells great. It's 99.9% effective for killing germs. And then the other trick that I like to do is put Correct X in my nostrils, at the base of my nostrils. I don't put it way into my nose, but I do put it at the beginning of it. And masking is important too. to prevent obtaining the virus. And a K95 is, of course, N95 is, of course, is best. The other things that we recommend is eating a healthy diet, limiting sugars, processed carbohydrates, alcohol, and also adequate sleep, 7 to 8 hours per night is so important for immunity. And the next slide, we talk about staying active. So if there was any time to get healthy, this would be the time to get healthy. It's everywhere. And if your body is stronger, your immune system is stronger.
Sorry, like I've been looking down at my phone. I'm trying to figure out what's in doTERRA's On Guard sanitizer. The naturally derived active ingredient, the active ingredient is ethyl alcohol. So why the fuck do you need all those essential oils? Oh, for aromatherapy because they smell good? They're not active ingredients. The active ingredient is ethyl alcohol. And this fucking thing, not even 1 fluid ounce, goes for $8.67. My point is that you can definitely get cheaper hand sanitizer. Oh, go figure, there's alcohol in a hand sanitizer. Wow. But doTERRA puts all these essential oils in there. So that's how you know it's really, truly effective. Just buy regular hand sanitizer. Like, what the fuck?
Daily exercise is so important. And then also time in the sun, because you get your vitamin D from the sun. And next slide, please. This next slide is FLCC.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go. Ivermectin right on the tippity top there. I'll just listen to what she has to say about ivermectin because... Like, seriously, if she tries to say that this is a actual treatment or preventative measure for COVID, what kind of fucking doctor are you, dude? We know that it's not. Like, scientifically, it is not.
This next slide is FLCC. Okay, so ivermectin, there is a chronic prevention dose, and then there's a post-COVID exposure prevention dose. And this is from the internet, the FLCC protocol. And they also recommend gargling with mouthwash. We have a great mouthwash in On Guard. And then they also recommend certain vitamins that you can fortify yourself with, and then black cumin seed. They do have black cumin seed out on the market. doTERRA doesn't have it yet. And ivermectin is available through different sources, and it is safe.
No, dude, people are straight up calling poison control because they're overdosing on ivermectin. Like, we know this is happening. And we also know that people were fucking buying it from tractor and feed stores. I'm honestly kind of shocked that she is recommending this. First of all, ivermectin is a dewormer. I mean, I think we all know that, right? It's an anti-parasitic drug. So, like, you can use it for, like, lice and worms and stuff. Most doctors don't recommend using it because there is a clear lack of evidence. Oh yeah, that was part of it. It received a Nobel Prize in 2015, but not because of its antiviral properties, because of its fucking deworming properties, because of its anti-parasitic shit. It had nothing to do with viruses. Early in the pandemic, it seemed worth trying because in June 2020, a group of Australian researchers published a singular paper showing that large quantities of ivermectin could stop the coronavirus from replicating in cell cultures. The amount of ivermectin a person would need to take to achieve that effect is up to 100 times the dose approved for humans. At that concentration, the drug might stop the virus, but it may also harm the patient. Fucking duh. Ivermectin research on COVID-19 published to date does not look promising, according to researchers who have closely considered the evidence. The trials are poorly done, they're too small, they're too short, and they're not measuring the right things. At least 2 influential preprints that supported the use of ivermectin were later retracted when they were found to contain flawed or fabricated data. Anyway, I mean, I guess it just sounds like there's not enough evidence to support any of this. So you have a doctor here who obviously loves essential oils, which there's not enough evidence to support that it does any of the shit that people say it does. And then you have ivermectin that she's saying that you should use, which also doesn't have the evidence to support it. And this is a doctor. This is a medical professional. This is somebody who went to school for this, pushing so far two things that have a very clear lack of evidence connected to coronavirus. And here she is being like, here's what you have to do if you don't want to get a vaccine. That's basically what this is, because all of this, you know, sure, supplement with essential oils, sure, maybe even obtain ivermectin from a medical professional, like a respectable one, because I don't think any of these people are fucking respectable at this point. I don't know, maybe just take little tiny doses, like microdose with ivermectin to fucking do whatever. Do that along with getting the free vaccine. Hey, if you are medically able to, which most people are able to get this free vaccine. So instead of spending all your money on ivermectin and essential oils and all these vitamins, black cumin seed, all this shit, just get a free vaccine. And if you want to make sure that you're doing the most you can, then fine, throw these things on top of it. But like, you don't need to do any of this most of the time if you're vaccinated. This whole thing is just pointless. Well, the point is that they want to sell you their shit so that they make money. That's what this is.
Antiviral and is anti-inflammatory, which is the other part of the disease that we really need to be careful about. So, okay, Dr. Lisa's going to talk about support if you do have COVID positive results and symptoms.
So just to let you know, I have treated in the thousands of patients with COVID, not only as an outpatient, so I've seen the whole gamut. Inpatient, I do hospital work. I'm a hospitalist, so I've seen them on the vent all the way, you know, from just needing a little nasal cannula oxygen. And then post-COVID, I take care of post-hospitalization patients in the nursing home. We're one of the only places in Los Angeles that receive COVID positive patients. So yeah, it gets busy.
Oh shit. Okay, because I was like reading what this person was writing in the message box here. Someone on the side said, please do not encourage masks. Hey, you fucking asshole. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people think that inhaling and exhaling while wearing a mask somehow makes it so that you breathe in the waste that you're breathing out again. I'm pretty sure that's like not a thing. It's like, okay, if you want to listen to what these people say, because these people are put on a pedestal. The people who are listening to these people and taking their advice, they're being selective. They're selectively hearing things. So they're saying like, yes, all this dōTERRA stuff you're telling me to do, yes, it's good. Oh, you want me to wear a mask? How can you trust one person, what they say from a medical standpoint, and then when they say something you don't like, it's like, no, not that. Dude, the fake news, the real fake news is telling you that masks are somehow dangerous, even though for years, if not like centuries, medical practitioners, surgeons, people who go through surgery for like 8 hours at a time, if not more, however long these surgeries take, will wear a mask. And these are people who are fucking performing like open heart surgery. They're very highly intelligent people working on other people's health respectably. But somehow, like, why are they totally fine with wearing a mask? Like, I think what happens is like these people have just consumed so much misinformation that when they put a mask on, they have an anxiety attack because they do really believe this shit. Like, I understand feeling like your breathing is impaired, I'm sure is anxiety inducing, but what is there not to get? It's very obvious masks aren't 100%, but it's obvious to see why they help cut down on it, why they are good preventative measures. It's like anyone with a working brain who can think critically can see that. Anyway, let's add all this up here. 79.50 plus 22 plus 45 plus 35 plus 39.50 plus 26, 247. And then what was it before? $215. So far, everything that they are pushing to you right now, and we're only 2 slides in, by the way, $462. These doctors sure are making a lot of money. Doctors make a lot of money, whatever, we know that. The argument can be made that, at least in America anyway, if you go to a doctor and you have insurance, most of the money that the doctor is making is coming from the insurance company and not from your pocket. I mean, like, yeah, there's co-pays and stuff that are like, I don't know, upwards of $25 to $45 to $50 depending, I don't know, sometimes more. So yeah, but not $462 for some fucking essential oils. And these are probably only like 30-day supplies. I don't know that for sure. So you're gonna have to reinvest that money. We can continue. I'm just so fucking annoyed.
We have implemented a lot of these supplements. And I've seen the drastic difference between one who is prepared with great vitamin D levels and are supplemented prior to getting infected versus those who have never taken a supplement and are low in their D and their B and everything in between. So just letting you know, I have a lot of experience with this. And so this is one of the many COVID protocols. There's so many ways to heal. doTERRA style, it's LLV, like big time LLV, not just your regular. Once you get COVID, you want to go a little above, beyond the regular dose, which is 2 tablets twice a day of the LLV. You can add some black pepper as well. And there is this spray, which it is is it the liposomal vitamin C? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the image.
Yes, it's the liposomal.
The vitamin C. Okay, so that's a liposomal vitamin C. And then to take it to the next level, there's the DDR Prime and the turmeric capsules, dual caps, and you can do load heavily on it, 2 to 4 capsules actually. And within the first 2 hours of onset of symptoms, or right when you're test positive, you want to start like loading up on it. And make sure you're taking your probiotics. PB Assist is great. And then the On Guard capsules, you can also really front load that by taking 2 capsules twice daily. But again, if you want to take like 1 every hour for the first, like every half hour for the first 2 hours, you can get, at least you get 4 soft gels in there right away. Then next slide, because there's two aspects of COVID. The first phase is the viral replication phase. You really want to quash and squash that replication. And then after you kill the virus, there's the inflammatory phase, which is then this is what we want to avoid. The cytokine storm, you've heard of it. It's when your body is just like multiplying, like it's exponentially causing inflammation. Your body is supposed to start inflammation when you have an infection and then shut it down when you kill everything off. But what COVID does is it blocks that body's ability to go back to homeostasis and shut off the inflammation. And then it just goes crazy and soaring. And so that at that point, when someone becomes hypoxic, we actually have to start steroids and really, reduce it. And we want to avoid all that. A lot of these things that we use in doTERRA do both. They will kill the virus, stop viral replication, as well as decrease inflammation.
Okay, hold on. She literally just said things we use in doTERRA will kill the virus. Now, she's not wrong if we're talking in vitro, but that is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people consuming this stuff and using it, and she is saying doTERRA will kill coronavirus. I'm sure I put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. I'm just gonna say this again. I've linked everything down below where you can report this, because these are unsubstantiated health claims. These are dangerous to the public, and this needs to be stopped. Quite frankly, after what she just said, I'm like, these people need to have their license revoked, because how can you spread this kind of misinformation and also be a doctor? How do you have your own practice? It's not right. This isn't right.
Inflammation, or I would say immune modulate. It doesn't stop inflammation. It's not like a steroid, which just stops everything and then you're predisposed to other things down the line. It modulates it. So it gives you the immunity when you need it, the kill ability, and then it stops
kill
when
ability.
you're done. So let's see.
Wow.
Okay, so immune support, definitely you have to continue this. Stay away from sugar, processed foods. Stay away from even artificial colors, sugars. Eat your vitamin C, natural sources, oranges. Get that white stuff out of the orange and eat that part. That's the highest in vitamin C. Butternut squash. Vitamin D foods like mushrooms, bone broth, garlic. That's awesome. Hydrate.
Okay, now I'm getting really hungry.
Add some lemon essential oils or tangerine or any of the citrus oils that actually increases your glutathione, your natural glutathione production because of the limonene. And you want to go even, like if you're having a fever, you might need to go up to 4 liters a day, so you might need more because you're sweating and all that. Next slide. There are all these really awesome support protocols. So we have a lot of different people create their own ways to get these wonderful oils into you. There's the immune honey that you can actually make. You can just mix some of the oils and honey. There's the old, everyone knows the flume, frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, and tea tree oil, but you can add, you can add to that. And what I add is, copaiba's here, ginger's here, clove is awesome. Sometimes I'll add a little black pepper. I actually add some lemongrass, extra Melissa. So you can really add a lot, and you could gargle it. And especially if you have a sore throat, you know that the virus is replicating there. You want to start gargling like for 20 seconds, get it really in there. And then you could do that, even every 15 minutes. You can swallow it too. You want to do that until your symptoms are resolved. Maybe you could do that for the first, 2 to 5 hours. And then, your symptoms are going to be much better. Than the next day you would do like 3 to 4 times a day for maintenance.
She's not saying you might feel better, this should help or something like that. No, she just said you're going to take this and your symptoms are going to be better the next day. You can't guarantee people that. Like, you can't do that. This is so dangerous. And again, let me remind you that this is coming from someone who went to medical school. Oh my God, please report this. Guys, please join me in my efforts to get this reported to the FTC. Like, cause holy fucking shit, this is so bad. And if doTERRA doesn't get a warning letter after this, I'm gonna cut off my own armpits.
This is actually a new kit that just came out. I think it's yesterday, right? It's the Evolve You Immunity Kit, which is really cool because it has your LLB. So you're gonna be doubling up on that if you're, COVID positive. And then you have your On Guard capsules. I've made many a trip and delivery for that with that. And then there's the On Guard chewables for the kids. It's easier to eat if they can't take capsules. And then there's the On Guard oil. And then you want to have your diffusing. I wouldn't just diffuse breathe. I would diffuse all of it. Some people call it my nuclear bomb.
Okay, hold on, wait. Oh, yeah, your nuclear bomb. That's definitely a good thing to call your medical treatment. Anyway, let's bring the calculator up again, see what we're at. Evolve You Immunity Kit. This is $147.50. A Pebble diffuser plus breathe, which I'm assuming that diffuser you probably have to buy separately, but all right, we're up to $642, my friends. I'm gonna have to take a break here and go get Sparrow from school in a few minutes, so I'll let this play as much as I can before I have to leave.
Basically flume plus all those other things that we talked about, the copaiba, the clove, the ginger, the lemongrass, and much more. And then don't forget the healthy eating and sleep, and then prone, make sure you're sleeping face down. Also, one thing that's so important is that when they say quarantine or isolate, please don't isolate. I've known of some people who've isolated so much that they didn't have contact with their family members. And when they became hypoxic, they didn't realize it. And either they passed or they had to, finally, when the family found them all blue, they had to call 911. And so we really need you to keep in touch with your loved one, even though they might be isolating. Check on their oxygen saturation regularly. If their oxygen saturation, so the pulse ox checks just that, the pulse and the oxygen level. So if the oxygen starts to go below 95%, normal is anywhere above 95%. You don't need to require oxygen, and they won't give you any oxygen in the hospital until you start dropping below 90% usually. So if you start to see that you're dropping below 95%, something's going on. Usually clotting is occurring in your alveoli. It's not so much the mucus production. It's actually a lot of clotting that's going on. And sometimes we have what we call happy hypoxics. I had a patient's father who, they weren't checking the oxygen, and he was like, yeah, I feel okay, a little tired, They check his oxygen and it's like 65%. They call 911. He was intubated, he was extubated, but he's very, very ill. He's been in the hospital for about 6 weeks, I believe. So you don't know until you check that. You can feel fine and your oxygen is dropping, and you need hospitalization. And at that point, I would say catch it early, get your monoclonal antibodies. Right now, it's kind of hard because the current monoclonal antibodies that are available, the ones that were readily available, the bamlanivimab's not working anymore. Then we got the Regencov, which is not really working with the Omicron, but we have Evusheld now. And so the problem is finding a hospital that would give it to you and finding a doctor that will support you in that. And I've been running around trying to call places and trying to get my patients those. When they get it, it's great, but it's just a hard thing. So try to not get to that point. If you're all prepared, with all the COVID prevention stuff, you won't get to that point.
You won't get to that point if you have a vaccine too. The fuck? I think it probably is very important to be able to, even if you are vaccinated, check your O2 levels. Honestly, I should probably invest in one of those. You know what sucks is that my old phone used to have like a mode, like in the health, and I don't know, maybe other phones have it, but my new one doesn't have it anymore. But you used to be able to check your oxygen. Oh, speaking of phone, time to go get Sparrow. But you used to be able to check your oxygen using your phone. I don't know why phones don't have that anymore, and they really should. But this is reminding me, I think I'm gonna buy one of those. I think you can get them on Amazon for super cheap, just an oxygen measurement, just because even if you are vaccinated and you're COVID positive, it's still really important to regularly check that, whether or not you're vaccinated. So thank you for the reminder, Tina. I will be buying one of those just in case. I mean, I never leave my house, but my husband does. So any reality in which we end up actually getting COVID at this point, it's like that is something that I do want to have. Anyway, next time I see you will probably be like an hour or so later. I'm gonna go get my kid from school now. Okay, bye. Hello? I have returned. Had a nice break from this BS. Time to get back into the dumpster. Time to get back into the dumpster, everybody. So this entire slide here, I think I'm gonna just cut out of this video because she is advertising her own product now, which is really interesting. I'm surprised that doTERRA lets her do that. Just know that I'm cutting this part out. This slide is nothing to do with doTERRA, and I don't want to advertise for her. No free ads here, baby. I am pretty sure this is not my computer. No, this is whoever recorded this. Okay, we got 3 more essential oils to add to our calculator. Adobe 2450. Well, let's add in the previous 642 plus 17 plus 20. We are at $703.50 so far, ladies and gentlemen. These distributors sure are making a lot of money off of this.
The Symphony of Cells, which is really, really cool. The have any of you ever heard of it? You can actually apply it to someone's back. So there's a lot of Symphony of Cells YouTube videos of how to apply it to your loved one, or how you can apply it to yourself as well, but just topically. And you can do, these are some of the options. You can use abode, eucalyptus, purify, breathe. And especially
it's abode. I said Adobe. Oh my God, I'm such an Arizonan.
Right now with Omicron, everything's really happening up in the sinuses. I'm having a lot of patients complain of ear pain, severe sinus pain. So you want to do a lot of the hot cup tea type of situation where you actually boil the water and put the drops in the water in tent with a towel, and you can cover your eyes, make sure your eyes don't get it. Hydrotherapy is so amazing because all it takes is hot water in a bathtub. If you don't have a bathtub, you can take a shower, and just really elevating that temperature inside, especially around the chest and the neck. And you want to get it so hot that you're like sweating. So try not to burn yourself, but you want to get really, really hot as you can. And then you do a cold lock after that, and that really elevates the temperature, and that really supports your immune system, opens up your airways. So you could do that. There's a children's version of it too. It's a half bath. You could, not as hot water, but there are a lot of videos of that. We can include that in the chat. Hydro4covid.com, hydro, Hydro, the number 4, covid.com. You can look at that, and it has all the protocols and the warnings too. So that leads me to tell you to try not to lower your body temperature with Tylenol or Motrin. You want to keep your temperature high so you can break your fever faster. And of course, if you have febrile seizures, something, that's another story. But if you...
Is that a thing? Okay, I've never heard a doctor say, well, yeah, that whole thing didn't make sense. Don't try to break your fever with Tylenol or Motrin, because you need to keep your fever as high as possible so it will break faster. Break faster meaning with the use of essential oils and not of over-the-counter medicine? Hey, doc, pretty sure that high temperatures can literally cause like brain damage and shit. And some of these COVID patients are getting upwards of like 105-degree temperatures, like to the point where they're hallucinating. They are literally like burning away their brain cells. Coming from someone who has no medical experience at all, I'm gonna say right now this is pretty bad medical advice, unless I'm misunderstanding. But it sounds to me like if you have a fever, you shouldn't let it get as high as possible. That's not a good thing. Holy shit.
Really do want to get that temperature up. So I try to tell my patients, just cool down your head. Put on like ice packs on your head to keep yourself cool, cooling measures that way. But you really want your chest and your neck to be hot. In fact, I would even put some oils on my neck and my back and chest, and then cover myself up to make it really, really warm. Next slide.
This is scary.
Oh, eucalyptus. Yeah, there's so much. Am I doing the sleep and emotional support, or is that somebody else?
You can do it, or I can do it. You can do it
I think
together.
it's so important because I have so many patients who've actually, I can tell you early on, all the nurses, a lot of the nurses were getting COVID and they had no idea that they had it because they just said, oh, I found out later, I was checking their antibodies and they were positive and they were like, oh yeah, I think I had a little headache back then, maybe, and almost nothing. But I think the diagnosis, once we started testing nurses twice a week, and then they would find out they were positive, their emotions, they would have a surge of stress and fear that their immune system would drop, and then they would get severe COVID within shortness of breath.
Okay, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a thing? That doesn't sound like a thing. What she just said doesn't really make logical sense to me, but I'm an idiot, so what do I know?
Then fever, within maybe 12 hours after that emotional stress of knowing that you're positive.
Well, okay, wait. But she's basically saying they got worse COVID after they found out they were positive. Is it possible that maybe it was just the COVID? Is it possible that they started showing symptoms because, I don't know, they had COVID? By her logic, she's saying that, as long as you don't think about it too much, then your COVID won't be too bad. Hey, we might as well stop testing, right? Because if you don't know you have COVID, then you won't stress yourself out. And that is clearly what the symptoms come from. It's from stress. You need emotional support so you don't make your COVID worse. Which, okay, fine. If your body is stressed, I can admit that it probably would make that stuff worse, but she's making it sound like, oh, they just had a headache, but then once they found out that they were positive, they had shortness of breath, and it's how can you connect that to emotional stress and not the virus itself? What the fuck? What is she talking about? I mean, it's possible, but she is not even considering the fact that those symptoms happen 12 hours later because, I don't know, the virus? It's replicating, that's what it does. Oh my God.
So that's just telling me, emotions are so important. That when you're emotionally, if you're stressed, your immune system goes down. We see people who get shingles when they get emotionally stressed. So it's really during this whole COVID time, especially if you have COVID, you want to support your emotions by taking your adaptive capsules, your Copaiba capsules, making sure you get really good sleep with Serenity. If you want to add some melatonin to that, that's even great. There's some antiviral properties to melatonin as well. Whatever you love, peace, balance, adaptive, lavender, just watching a funny movie, something that makes you, or stand-up comedy that makes you happy, those emotions, prayer, whatever it takes to get you into that happy Zen state.
I'm reading the comments here on the side. I'm sure you guys are following along too, so you've seen these, but someone was asking what happens if you don't get your taste and smell back after getting COVID. All of these people here in the comments are basically saying all you gotta do is sniff essential oils and it'll come back. It's called olfactory training. I don't know if that's a thing. Dr. Tina Wong says it's a thing, but I mean, that's a health claim. That's saying, hey, sniffing these essential oils will cure your loss of taste and smell.
During this time, it's gonna take your immune system to the next level. Next slide. Okay, sorry. So this is the full treatment protocol. Ivermectin's hard to get, but I found places, well, in California it is, but I found places that will still fill it for me. Compounding, more the same of the prevention, just higher dosing. So again, it's 3 to 4 times the dose of the prevention. Same things. The Nigella sativas, the black cumin seed, curcumin, honey, which is again found in our product Necto Plus, and you can get the, just have your stuff ready, have your honey ready. This is not something that you want to, when you're sick, you just don't want to have to go out and get this stuff or send someone out and give them all this directions. Get it now, have it prepared, share it with a loved one if you have it ready to go. We've been doing a lot of sharing. Next slide. Oh, that's COVID long haul.
Hey, Eliza.
Okay. We could say if you're trying to prevent COVID and then you still get it and then you have to treat COVID, you can be looking at $703.50. Okay? That, I would say, after watching this, is kind of the minimum that they're expecting you to spend on doTERRA products. But what we're going to add here, so let's start a new one because this looks like the LLV thing, is something that they've put on here before. I think the turmeric was on there. So if you have COVID long haul after spending $703.50. So if you have COVID for the long haul, we'll add all this up and see how much they want you to spend to be able to treat your COVID long haul symptoms. So we got $79.50 for LLV, whatever that means. $24, $45, $35. We're at $183.50 for the first slide on what you should be spending for your COVID long haul.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ma. That's such amazing. Dr. Lisa is such amazing information for everybody to be prepared. I can't stress that enough. To be prepared, and please have these tools in your home because it's really hard to order everything when you start to get sick. You don't get it in time. And I, for one, when we were collaborating, was like so excited about Dr. Lisa's Nacro Plus. Mine is in the mail right now. I can't wait to get it because I'm like, this is so great. It's everything in one. So make sure and get that stuff sooner rather than later so you're prepared. So I'm going to switch gears with you guys a little bit and move from talking about what to do when you are COVID positive and infected to that subset of the population that gets infected and then has really what we call also a post-inflammatory constellation of symptoms. And this is really being termed now COVID long haul syndrome, or LCHS is what the frontline critical care COVID doctors are calling it. That's FLCCC. You can look that up online. They have some protocols too we're going to go through. But really what we're dealing with here and the people that end up with long haul are these constellation of symptoms that continue, sometimes cyclical fevers, headaches, brain fog, confusion, and again, overall general fatigue, almost like a chronic fatigue syndrome, like presentation. And then also I've heard some people having skin rashes. So we see some histamine reactions happening, an overabundance of histamine in the body. So sometimes people will get hives or, splotchy red rashes. And so be on the lookout for that. And the goal is, you guys, that you never get to this long haul place. I truly believe and have seen the people that are very prophylactic, like Dr. Tina and Dr. Lisa were describing, that are prophylactic, do early prevention, therapy when they start with their COVID symptoms, don't progress to the long haul. So this is why it's so important.
Okay, so she's literally saying here, if you use this dōTERRA protocol before you get COVID and while you get COVID, then you won't have long haul symptoms. That's basically what she just said. And it's like, again, you can't say that. Now, I obviously don't know who's more at risk to have COVID long haul symptoms, but either way, like, you can't just tell people like, yep, if you do this, you definitely won't have to deal with those pesky long haul symptoms, because we all know you're gonna make $703.50 in sales. I need to look up and see what the dōTERRA percentage of commissions is. How much are they making off of that? You get 25% off of retail profits, so 25% of 703. So you're gonna make $175 every time you get somebody to agree to do this protocol that you're pushing so hard. Okay, cool.
But if you are one of those people, or someone that fits into this category, this is what we really need to talk about and how to deal with it. So foundation is everything, right? We always talk about lifelong vitality. The reason why we talk about that is because there are cell repair components in the alpha CRS. We also have extra turmeric in there. Omega fatty acids are extremely important for long haul. And so that foundational piece cannot be laid aside. That person needs to either start that or continue it if they've been on it. And so think about it this way. We're continuing some of the same things that we do for COVID positive, right? Because we're still in an inflammatory state. You heard Dr. Lisa describe that. The body turns on the cytokine storm, and the systems that are supposed to turn it off don't do that. And so turmeric is very important. And I would say if your symptoms are severe, that you can push that turmeric dose a little bit higher. Remember this, our turmeric is different. So I have people tell me all the time, Eliza, I got some turmeric from CVS the other day, I'm good. That's curcumin extract. The turmeric in the dual chamber capsule has the essential oil along with it in a dual chamber capsule. That increases the bioavailability, which basically means what's available to your cells 7 times. So
I mean, where are you getting this information from? She's basically saying like, oh no, the turmeric that you can buy from the store, it's not as effective because it doesn't have turmeric essential oil in it. And maybe that's true because, you know, these oils are very volatile. Essential oils are super concentrated. So, I mean, maybe it's, I don't know, but it just seems really shitty to try to convince people, no, you need to buy this $35 turmeric. It's just like classic MLM being like, our shit is the best. You can't trust things from anywhere else. It's messed up. And that's when this stuff starts getting predatory. I mean, obviously this whole thing has been predatory on people who are scared of COVID and also scared of the vaccine. They'll disguise this and be like, oh, we're just trying to help people. And it's like, you're not helping anyone. You are medical professionals. You are doctors. You know what you need to be telling your patients? You need to tell them to get the fucking vaccine. That's what you need to do. Look them in the face and say, go get your vaccine. And then if you want to do all this other shit, fine. You know, it's not going to hurt you, probably. But at the very least, the best thing you can do to prevent all of this that we're talking about is to get vaccinated. Wow! Shocking. Medical professionals, and they can't even say that. They can't even say that shit out loud. Like, oh my God.
The good old standard 1,000 milligrams of turmeric is not going to do. You really need those capsules, and you need 2. And I would say if your weight is greater than 160 pounds, you could go up to 3 or 4 per day. Again, we're trying to reduce that inflammation. DDR prime soft gels, these are really important because they have frankincense, lemongrass, some are savory, thyme, all of these things that also help balance the inflammatory system, especially frankincense we know is valuable for that. And thank goodness for the soft gels, because when you have long haul, you probably are not feeling like making a veggie cap. And so it's really, really easy. Those DDR prime soft gels, we're recommending 2 per day to continue that. Now, one thing I forgot to mention that's very important, when you're starting out and you're really meeting criteria for that long haul, we want you guys to go and do the protocols for acute COVID if you have not done that for 7 days. Okay.
We want you to do everything we just told you to do. Spend $703.50 for 7 days. And then you can start doing all the rest of this. Holy shit.
Go back to what we described above, the things that you need to do for COVID positive, and do those things for 7 days, almost like a primer to calm the inflammation, and then start this.
Is
2
that a
DDR
thing?
prime soft gels.
Come on.
Also continue On Guard soft gels, 2 of those. Very important. Cinnamon, clove, all of those things are really, really important. It also has Melissa and oregano in there, which we know have been, have had some great studies behind them as far as helping with COVID, post-inflammatory response, and viral replication. We're also continuing 5 to 10 milligrams of melatonin nightly. We know that those hormonal systems are getting disrupted for people with long haul COVID syndrome. And so really getting their melatonin reset and giving them that. I had one of my clients I was dealing with, sleep was like her biggest issue. She just could not sleep. And it took 10 milligrams of melatonin, 2 Serenity soft gels, 2 Copaiba soft gels, but that was like her trick. And she finally got to sleeping. And then she started to improve because the body could repair itself during the sleep phase. Now, what we're also going to add in that you won't see pictured here is Zendocrine complex. We're going to do the capsules and the soft gels. 2 of those twice daily, so 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. And that's both of those, because there is an herbal complex that you need and the essential oil complex.
There's no price tag to add on here, but let's just know that the final tally we're going to have here at the end is going to be more than we're going to be reporting on here.
The essential oil complex and that soft gel is very, very important because of oils in there like tangerine and cilantro, which help the body detox and also repair. And then, of course, we have emotional and anxious feeling support. You guys can go to the next slide. Very, very important in COVID long haul syndrome. We are going to be giving you guys a download for that. We're working on some of those PDFs. Symphony of the Cells is extremely important. Sorry, I was talking a little bit out of rotation. Again, very important during COVID positive and very important in long haul. But in long haul, instead of using the infectious disease protocol, which is what used during COVID positive, we want you to switch to the inflammatory protocol daily. And if you're not familiar with Symphony of the Cells, please go to the website, just Google Symphony of the Cells. It's a little tiny booklet. It's fantastic. We use it all the time in our home. It's wonderful. It's a great way to put a lot of oils into the body, get great absorption through that dermal tissue, a lot of different oils that hit all those components of reducing inflammation in the body. Okay, next slide. And then again, you guys, we're coming from both worlds, right? We are coming from the holistic world of healthcare and also from the modern world of healthcare. We firmly believe that those two merge are great partners a lot of times. You don't have to choose.
That's great and everything. Like I keep saying, you know, fine, by all means, supplement this naturopathy shit, but at least take part in the stuff that is proven to be scientifically sound. Point number one here would be to, oh, I don't know, get the vaccine, but they don't say that. They don't tell anyone to do that. So are you really the best of both worlds? Because I would say that the vaccine is kind of a fucking medical miracle at this point. It's like the best of the scientific community right now, the medical community. Like, it's the best we got. It's the best we've done as a human race. And they won't even recommend that, but they'll recommend fucking turmeric and oregano, which is fine. I'm not hating on that shit. Do whatever you want. But it's like they're just leaving out the most important part of all of this and suggesting that people take fucking Ivermectin, you know?
And so we love the frontline critical care COVID doctors because they've come up with a lot of these protocols based on research. And here is the one that they have on their website related to long haul syndrome. So just remember, you're doing this in addition to the natural plant-based therapy. Obviously, you always want to talk to your doctor. You always need to make sure you have great kidney and liver function prior to this. But you see here again, initiating ivermectin for long haul syndrome. And then follow the arrows, okay? Because then if you have neurologic symptoms, you see the fluvoxamine that we add in, right? If all of your symptoms don't resolve with just that course, that 3 to 5 day course of ivermectin, then you move on to a little bit higher approach and you do something more aggressive to calm the inflammation in the body. And we use something called a corticosteroid. It's basically like a steroid, right? And it's just calming all that inflammation in the body for 5 days. And then if you have symptoms of mast cell activation, and I know you're saying, what is that, Eliza? It's that really that histamine-like response or that overreaction. Typically people will have a rash or hives. There's some recommendations related to that. Loratadine is probably the most typical one. You can actually get that over the counter. That's Claritin. And for this use in all patients, look at the bottom and the bottom left there. See, they're also starting to do some holistic things there too. Even in that modern medicine world, you see the recommendation for vitamin C, 500 milligrams twice daily. Omega fatty acids, push them up to 4 grams per day to help with that repair. Atorvastatin or Lipitor, and then of course the melatonin, and then D3. Keeping in mind that if your D3 levels were low before and you have record of that, you're going to need higher doses, probably 5 to 10,000. Now, one of the natural supportive things you can do here also for histamine that we didn't mention in the previous slide is you can use a blend called Tri-Ease from doTERRA. It does come in a soft gel. And the key component of that is from the lavender. We know that lavender blocks histamine in the body. And so that's another adjunct that you could add from the natural healthcare world, in addition to the Claritin if you really needed that. And then very important, if you're having chest heaviness, any sort of trouble breathing, just like Dr. Lisa said, it's very important. I've had a lot of sick patients in the hospital that looked fantastic, and then you start to get some of their stats, and they're actually really sick. So shortness of breath is something you always want to seek medical care for. You always want to get worked up, potentially a pulmonary evaluation, and potentially a CT, because we know that people can have clots. We know that COVID and long haul COVID patients sometimes have disruption in the coagulation cascade, and they're prone to clots. And so you definitely don't want to be walking around with that and not know about it. You need treatment because it can be life-threatening. So don't dismiss if you're like, I just feel a little short of breath when I walk. That's not normal. And so make sure and follow up for that. Okay, and I think we're going to turn it back to Dr. Tina for
Okay, so now we got kid shit. All right, so if you have COVID long haul symptoms, add $183.50 to this 703. All right, so we got a grand total of $887. And need I remind you guys that this isn't just a one-time purchase too, because these people were saying 2 capsules is the regular, but you're gonna want to push it up to 4 capsules daily or something like that. And I don't know, I mean, I would assume it's like a 30-day supply. Could be more, could be less, I don't know. But if you're doing this preventatively, then you're going to be rebuying a lot of this stuff very often. So this isn't just a one-time purchase of $887. No, you're spending thousands, seriously thousands of dollars when you could just get a free vaccine. Good Lord. Now, it's about to get really upsetting because doTERRA has a pediatric line, if you will, a line for children. I'm just adding this all up here. So, to prevent and support children, so far, this first slide has us at $160 for children.
The pediatric guru expert to give us some help with kids in COVID.
Oh, Eliza, can I just mention that definitely NACFA Plus has been so helpful for some of my long haul patients. Even like a year after long hauling, they just take a couple packets 4 times a day, and then they're like feeling better within like 3 or 4 days. So simplified sometimes, but it can help as well.
Amazing. And very important too, because a lot of my long haul patients could not manage a lot of the pills. So again, us making it easier.
Listen, I love whoever recorded this, but dear God, figure out your computer. Oh my God.
Awesome.
In progress.
My husband's putting it on my Zoom right now because we're full here. And so I wanted to say thank Eliza. She's been so awesome to work with, and Dr. Lisa. It's just really been a pleasure. I've learned so much from them. And in that case, you
Okay,
don't
it
want
does
to
come
go
back.
because
All right. Technical difficulties.
One
Yes.
will do.
Okay.
Frankincense, tea tree, aroma touch, and peppermint. Remember always to dilute though, because the peppermint can be a little bit strong. And we did mention allowing your child to have a little bit of a fever to burn out the virus. You can do that unless they have a risk for febrile seizures. And in that case, you don't want to risk that. But peppermint is a great oil for reducing fever. And actually the Japanese peppermint that you can get free this month has a higher menthol content, so that'll work even faster. But always dilute with coconut oil. Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Oh, we got some more, guys. Oh, this is post-vaccination? Okay, so $160 for kids. And I hope I'm not wrong here, but these people never cease to amaze me. But I'm hoping that they're just saying that this is like to help with like the fever and muscle aches and stuff that you might get after getting a vaccine. Not necessarily to detox your body from the vaccine. Because, you know, you hear people say that shit all the time. With Boo, they were saying that all the time. They were like, I just got my vaccine and I regret it, so I put a bunch of Boo on my injection site. And, you know, I hope this isn't that. I really hope this isn't. Because, I mean, it's, yeah, we know if you get the vaccine and the boosters and stuff, like, yeah, there's side effects. But, hey, it's all still better than getting COVID and being on a ventilator just to die 6 weeks later.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tina. Taking care of our kids is so paramount. And I just think we've been so blessed, you know, amidst some difficult times that our children are less severely affected. I'm very grateful for that every day. So again, as Lauren introduced and talked about, you know, we're a very non-biased group of people, and we support you in your top health priorities, whatever that may be, whether that is pursuing vaccination or not. And we wanted to give you some post-vaccination support basics. Just because there is a lack of data in this area, I have to give you that caveat as we talk about it. We love data, whether it comes to modern medicine or holistic medicine, but in this area, there.
Do you love data? Because you've been sitting here pushing fucking Ivermectin for COVID, but you love data. Yeah, data is so important. Doesn't matter if the studies were done shit-tacularly on small sample sizes over the course of a week or some shit. Doesn't matter. It's still data. We love the data, even if it's wrong. We love the data, even though it gets retracted because it's wrong. We still love it. Yeah, no, I don't necessarily think that these people love data as much as they're putting out.
There really is a lack of data. And so you have to really hypothesize about what's happening. And as we know, most of the mRNA vaccines are helping the body to actually make the spike protein, which is the part of the virus that causes most of the inflammation and disruption. And so a way that you can kind of protect your body, if you do choose vaccination as the right path for you, are some of these tools. And so what some of these tools are doing too is to help kind of reduce that inflammatory response that's happening from the production of that spike protein in the body. So again, we can't say this enough. A lifelong vitality pack is extremely important baseline for the body. To give you those baseline nutrients and support. We do recommend Zendocrine Complex and soft gels. You're going to take 2 of those twice daily, each of them in the morning and the evening. And we also recommend Zendocrine oil. You see there the oil blend to rub over the liver twice daily topically. You can dilute that. It's got tangerine, cilantro in it, rosemary, a lot of those detox oils that actually support the liver. Rosemary is actually fantastic in helping you with enzymatic liver production. So really fantastic for that. So apply that topically to that area. 2 turmeric dual chamber capsules daily. And also DDR prime soft gels, even though you don't see those on here, we do recommend those for post-vaccination support because of the frankincense, the summer savory, and the lemongrass in there. Lemongrass is sort of an unsung hero for anti-inflammatory effect. He doesn't get a lot of credit for that, but actually has great anti-inflammatory support. Continue 5 to 10 milligrams of melatonin nightly. That's super important. And we do recommend 2 On Guard soft gels as well, just to kind of help support and boost those responses in the body.
Just so you guys know, this is another part that I'm cutting out because this is another slide where they are promoting their product. And I'm not doing the free ad thing.
And so also detox baths are wonderful. Food, detox baths, and those other things that we do outside of supplements are great. So green juices containing that cilantro, celery, really awesome the way we use them with essential oils, but the foods also have great enzymes in them. So add those to your diet. And we love binder foods like wild organic blueberries. I always get a big bag of those from Whole Foods. There you have the tiny wild organic blueberries. They have to be wild, and those are great food binders. Spirulina, wheat barley grass, these are great food binders. And actually the doTERRA fiber has some fantastic binding capacity and is a great binder. So you can add that into a smoothie daily. And then we recommend daily Epsom salt detox baths. Here's a great little recipe for you. You could mix this up. This has tea tree, eucalyptus, lavender, and thyme, but you could throw tangerine in there. Aroma Touch would be a great one too.
Do you know what's really kind of rubbing me the wrong way is that they are promoting detoxing after getting a vaccine. And when we hear the word detox, a lot of the time they're talking about like detoxing heavy metals and stuff. I mean, it just makes it sound like you just put something in your body and you need to tox it out. You know what I mean? Like get rid of the toxins that you just put in your body. And it's like, first of all, those toxins are probably going to save your life. It rubs me the wrong way that this is the way they're talking about it. It's like you got a vaccine. It's life-saving. Why are we trying to tell people they need to detox? Like, I know she didn't specifically say detox the vaccine, but like, I don't like the way this is being talked about because it seems unnecessary. If she were to say, you know, the Epsom bath salt thing, I take Epsom salt baths when my muscles hurt and stuff like that. And that's great. You know, that's great. If you're saying, you know, you get muscle aches after getting the vaccine, so take this bath to help make your muscles feel better, you know, that's one thing. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying, take a detox bath. I don't like it. But you know what? If this is enough to get people to be like, oh, if I get the vaccine, because these are all people who are probably dealing with vaccination mandates at their workplace, and they're like, I don't want to quit my job, but I also don't want to get the vaccine. Maybe they're thinking, oh, I'll get the vaccine and I'll just detox it afterwards, and no one will ever have to know that I detoxed all the vaccine out of my body. You know what? If that is enough to get them to agree to get the vaccine, then fine. Fucking fine. At this point, fine. But I still don't like the way it's being talked about. Because also, I don't think that's how vaccines work. I don't think you can just detox them out of your body after you get them, but I digress.
Mix that with a cup of baking soda, 1 cup Epsom salt, and 1 cup sea salt. And you can add that with carrier oil and put it in the bath. And I'm telling you, it works, especially with the baking soda and the Epsom salts. You can really feel it. The skin is our biggest detox organ, right? And you'll see things actually come to the surface of the skin. It's pretty impressive. And so those are some tools for you for post vaccination support. I know a lot of people in here have questions about pregnancy and what to take for if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Again, you'll need to follow up with your physician on that. Simple things like vitamin D, vitamin C, and things like that are typically safe. Again, we can get to high levels of vitamin C that sometimes can make you, more susceptible to kidney stones and things like that. So you always want to follow up with your provider if you are pregnant or breastfeeding on some of these protocols. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for presenting, and for guys, we honestly, I think we chatted on the phone a week ago. Is that right? A week ago. And we were like,
yes, a week ago.
So if we're having this discussion, there's so many other people having this discussion, and it's so important that we get together. So for the last week, on top of everything else in our lives, these amazing practitioners pulled this presentation for you guys. So they really busted butt. So let's talk about what's coming up so you guys can know what to look forward to. Next week, we will be able to fit 1,000 people instead of 500. I will have that fixed. But that does mean that the original graphic that went out for this week, that the Zoom number will end up changing. So it'll switch to a webinar instead of a meeting. So when you see us each go out and post, just make sure that you're looking for the upcoming week presentation. We also got a lot of questions. People were asking, like, are we repeating the exact same presentation? And the answer is yes. You'll see different faces presenting the information, but this is the same presentation over and over again. We knew that this was, a lot of people were going to be interested in this. We didn't realize so many would hop on in one night. We thought that we would be building momentum, people be able to share as they hopped on one week and say, hey, I need to have so-and-so tune in. So we thought we were building to January 26th, but obviously this was something that was important to many. So it will be the same presentation, which is amazing because one, it means you get to go to your friends and family and you get to invite them to tune in, and we can continue to spread the word. And two, you guys get to have multiple nights where you get to ask the physicians some questions. So at the end of this, I'm going to stop recording and we're going to open up the chat. So if you have any questions now, go ahead and start throwing up in the chat. The practitioners will have a moment to look over some things and decide who wants to answer what. So that's our first 3 presentations. We'll all be at the same thing, protocols, going over them and over them. And I have found for me personally, when I see a presentation more than once, things tend to sink in. Like I said, I will be throwing up the PDF into the chat. Can't do that while I'm still sharing my screen. So as soon as I stop, I will throw that up in the chat box for you. The next couple of presentations are more for practitioners. So if that is you and you're like, I have a medical practice or I work in a medical practice, those are 2 that you might want to tune in for.
That sounds fascinating. And obviously I'm not a practitioner, but I'll see if I can find a schedule where I can slide into this one here too. To hear doctors talk about their practice as a money-making business, which obviously it's a business, so of course they want to make money, but like to have a whole Zoom webinar about it, and especially because they're talking about dōTERRA also, sounds really sketchy, it sounds really toxic, and I want to be there.
This is more about different ways to be able to run your practice, to be able to support your patients. February 16th, we're going to redo this presentation one more time because we know going into end of January and into February that we might see some numbers increase. So we want to be able to offer the presentation one more time. On February 23rd, we're going to talk about thinking outside the marketplace, some different ways to be able to afford to be able to pay for the healthcare that you want and kind of customize your healthcare. And then last week, March 2nd, and again, this will be for practitioners, and it's incorporating dōTERRA into your medical practice. So
that'll be interesting,
if you know anybody
too,
that would benefit from any of these presentations, feel free to share with them.
Okay, there's still another 6 minutes left to this Zoom call, but I've been sitting here watching it. I cut a lot of this out, but they're basically all just talking up that product that I keep telling you I'm cutting out. They're talking about how great it is and where you can get it and answering questions about it. And yeah, I'm not going to include that. So, okay, that was the end of that. Holy macaroni. Wow. I hated every second of that. And the fact that they maxed out their Zoom call with 500 people were watching this, meaning other people were trying to get in. That's a lot of people that are just so misinformed. Anyway, it sounds like Griffin's getting fussy downstairs, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Thank you to my financial supporters on Patreon and my YouTube memberships. Guys, these names I'm about to read off are the people who support me financially, and I appreciate it so much. You don't even know how much it means to me that you guys are here, but these people get access to our private Discord server. We have a postcard club, and there's all other fun stuff, you know? So if any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/SavannahMarie, or you can click the join button beneath this video, whatever works for you. Now with that all being said, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Janelle Pratt, Cecilia Dudek, Christy Taylor, Elizabeth Wyatt, Nitty Dragon, Leanne, Meredith Nakata, Molly Wasilewski, Ryan Mew, Sheila Tapia, Tiff C, Turd Ferguson, hashtag Get the W, Weatherington Law, Alice W, Amy Huffman, April Lindblom, Boris Geller, Casey Scraper, Katrina Rosemarick, Claire T, Danae Twitchell, Daniel Urena, E. Higgins, Erica Louder-Craddock, Jerry Duncan, Hanimal Crossing, Heidi Haw, Hippie Kansas Girl, Julia Wheeler, Kim Cartwright, Critter, Lizzie McQueen, Maddie Darley, Marley Fletcher, Nah, Not Today, Princess Deathwish, Rachel McHenry, Samantha Jackson, Stephanie Hell, Tuesday the 13th, Emion, Ian Shrouth, Jennifer Dyer, Jessica Cecil, Caroline H, Kazanise, Auntie Lou, Colin F, Jess Kronfeld, Krista Scantlin, Lizzie's Plantasy, and Fallon Lowry, and to the rest of my wonderful financial supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. And even if you're not a financial supporter, thank you for making it to the end of this video. Keep making waves, babes. I'll smell you all later. Mommy Tsunami, out.